Hey Lakers fans, welcome back. Today we have a lot to unpack because things are heating up in the Western Conference, and the moves by the Los Angeles Clippers are making everyone pause and think about what their strategy really is. Over the last couple of months, the Clippers have been playing some of the best basketball in the league. They've shown flashes of brilliance, making big plays and pushing games to the wire. But it hasn't been a smooth journey. At the start of the season, they dug themselves a deep hole. Their record was dismal, and they had so much ground to cover that it almost felt impossible to recover. Fast forward to now, and they are a very different team in terms of performance. Yet the big question is, how will they move forward with a major shakeup in their roster? Trading James Harden was a headline-grabbing decision, no doubt about it. Harden has been a central figure, a driving force, and in many ways, the engine behind the Clippers' recent success. Kawhi Leonard has his own impact, but Harden was undeniably a game-changer, someone who could turn a close contest into a win with his skill and basketball IQ. Now, with Harden out and Darius Garland in, the landscape changes dramatically. Garland brings his own set of skills to the table. There are concerns about injuries, but if the Clippers can manage that and get him fully integrated, he could be a cornerstone for their future. The trade also raises questions about the team's philosophy. Are they building for now, or are they planning for the seasons ahead? One thing that stands out is the challenge of balancing competitiveness with long-term planning. The Clippers can't fully tank because they don't have the luxury of their draft pick. They've traded it away, and that limits how much they can pivot toward rebuilding. So, the front office has to be strategic. They need to evaluate which players are key to keep, which contracts are manageable, and how to leverage the assets they currently have to strengthen the team without compromising their competitiveness. Garland, Zubac, and Leonard form a core, but beyond that, flexibility becomes essential. Decisions about other players like John Collins, Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., and veterans like Nicholas Batum can define whether this team accelerates toward playoff contention or starts a more cautious, asset-focused approach. It's fascinating to think about how the Lakers might view all of this. There's an opportunity to engage in smart trades, taking advantage of teams like the Clippers adjusting their rosters. Imagine acquiring role players who bring athleticism, defense, and experience without breaking the bank on salaries. A combination like Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn could be transformative if negotiated correctly, providing depth and stability while complementing the existing core. These are the kind of moves that don't grab headlines immediately, but could make a huge difference over the course of the season, creating a more balanced, versatile roster capable of competing night after night in a tough Western Conference. Looking closer at the potential strategy, the Lakers could focus on players who fit their system and timeline. Someone like Derrick Jones Jr., still in his athletic prime, offers defensive presence, versatility, and the ability to hit timely shots. Chris Dunn, with his experience as a perimeter guard, adds leadership and skill at the point guard position, helping to manage the floor while younger stars develop. Pairing these players with Garland's skill set and Leonard's experience gives the Clippers, or the Lakers, if they engage in trade talks, a blend of youth, talent, and strategic depth. It's about building a team that can compete in the short term while also setting up for sustained success. What makes this particularly interesting is the complexity of the current market. Player values are shifting, and what would have been a straightforward first-round trade a few years ago now requires more nuanced negotiations. Teams are hesitant to part with draft capital, so creative solutions involving contracts, swaps, and calculated acquisitions are key. This makes every potential trade scenario intriguing, as the right combination of veteran presence and young talent can tip the scales in a team's favor. For the Lakers, having insight into the Clippers' intentions could open doors to strengthening their own roster while maintaining flexibility for future seasons. The Clippers themselves face a balancing act. They need to decide if they will ride the momentum from their recent resurgence or start planning for bigger changes in the offseason. With Garland now in place, there's an opportunity to see how he meshes with the existing roster, especially Leonard and Zubac. If the chemistry works, they might push for a deep playoff run and see how far the current core can take them. Alternatively, they could start moving other pieces strategically, aiming to maximize assets and create flexibility for future seasons. Every choice carries consequences, and every move is a step in defining the team's identity moving forward. Even evaluating minor roster adjustments becomes critical in this context. Players who have had limited impact so far could become significant contributors in the right system. Expiring contracts, young talents with untapped potential, and role players with specific skill sets all factor into how the Clippers or Lakers navigate the next phase. It's not just about star power. It's about building a well-rounded, resilient squad capable of executing at a high level night after night. Understanding this dynamic is key to anticipating the moves that could shape the Western Conference race. From a strategic perspective, there's also the element of timing. Off-season trades, mid-season acquisitions, and player development plans all intersect. Front offices are constantly evaluating the trade-off between immediate gains and long-term stability. For a team like the Clippers, the decision to invest in Garland signals a willingness to focus on a young cornerstone while also balancing the presence of established stars. The Lakers, meanwhile, could capitalize on these changes to acquire pieces that fit their system, creating a roster that is not only competitive today, but positioned for future growth. One cannot overlook the role of chemistry and fit in all of this. Even talented players need to operate in a system that maximizes their strengths. Integrating Garland into the Clippers' offense, or blending new acquisitions with the Lakers' established core, requires careful planning, coaching adjustments, and on-court experimentation. Success isn't guaranteed by talent alone. It's about how well players complement each other, adapt to coaching schemes, and execute in critical moments. Observing how these teams manage this balance over the next months will be fascinating and will likely influence how both franchises are viewed in the eyes of the league and their fans. Now, diving deeper into what this all means for the Clippers, the move to bring in Darius Garland is about more than just replacing James Harden. It's about reshaping the team's identity and establishing a foundation for sustained success. Garland is still in his prime, just 26 years old, and while he's had some injury concerns, his skill set offers versatility, playmaking, and scoring that could transform the way the Clippers approach each game. The real challenge will be integrating him with Kawhi Leonard, who is still a dominant presence when healthy, and Ivica Zubac, who anchors the paint and gives the team defensive stability. The balance between offense and defense, between speed and physicality, will be crucial in determining whether this team can genuinely contend in the playoffs or whether they are simply building for the future. For the Lakers, this situation opens up interesting possibilities. With the Clippers in a transitional phase, there's an opportunity to strike at the trade market and add pieces that fit immediate needs. A duo like Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn, for example, could fill multiple gaps, providing 3-and-D capability, perimeter defense, and veteran leadership. Jones Jr. brings energy and athleticism, someone who can impact fast breaks, defend multiple positions, and stretch the floor when necessary. Chris Dunn offers experience as a floor general, guiding young players, organizing the offense, and giving reliable minutes at point guard. Together, they could instantly enhance the Lakers' depth and flexibility, creating a team that is more versatile, harder to defend, and capable of sustaining competitive intensity throughout the grueling Western Conference schedule. The beauty of this kind of strategic acquisition is that it's not just about talent, it's about fit and control. Both Jones Jr. and Dunn have manageable contracts that align with the Lakers' timeline, allowing the team to maintain financial flexibility while also securing valuable production. The front office can shape the roster around them, making additional moves if necessary, and still retain options for future trades or free agent acquisitions. This kind of calculated approach is what separates teams that plateau from teams that consistently compete at a high level. The Lakers could turn perceived weaknesses into strengths, building a roster that blends veteran savvy with youthful energy, defensive intensity with offensive creativity. Meanwhile, the Clippers' path forward is equally intriguing. With Garland leading the backcourt, the team has to decide whether to commit to immediate contention or continue reshaping around him. Players like Leonard and Zubac are central to this decision, as are the contracts of supporting players. There's a delicate balance between keeping enough talent to remain competitive and shedding pieces to create financial and strategic flexibility. How they approach this could define not only this season, but also the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. Are they willing to trade veterans like Kawhi in the offseason to maximize assets? Or do they ride the current core and push for a playoff run with Garland as the new focal point? These are the questions that will dominate conversations in the coming months. Another layer to consider is the league-wide implications. The Western Conference is incredibly competitive, and every move has ripple effects. Teams like the Lakers, Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors, and Denver Nuggets are constantly evaluating how to adjust to shifts in other rosters. The Clippers' moves force opponents to reconsider strategies, rotations, and matchups. A young, dynamic point guard like Garland changes the defensive schemes other teams might employ, while the Lakers' potential acquisitions could shift the balance of athleticism and defense across multiple matchups. In this way, every roster change doesn't just impact the team making the move. It impacts the entire landscape of playoff contention and the strategies every contender must consider. For fans, the excitement is in the uncertainty and the potential. Watching how Garland develops within the Clippers system will be fascinating. He has the ability to run the offense, create opportunities for teammates, and take over games in critical moments. His chemistry with Leonard and Zubac will be tested, and the coaching staff will need to make adjustments to maximize efficiency. On the Lakers' side, the integration of role players like Jones Jr. and Dunn could determine whether the team can rise above inconsistencies and injuries that have plagued them in recent seasons. The margin for error is small in the Western Conference, and every matchup, every strategic decision, could make the difference between an early exit and a deep playoff run. Contracts and salaries also play a huge role in shaping these decisions. Managing cap space while acquiring talent that contributes immediately is a puzzle every front office faces. The Clippers have to navigate Garland's contract, Leonard's existing deal, and the expiring or long-term contracts of role players. For the Lakers, taking on veterans with reasonable contracts allows them to maintain flexibility for future moves, whether in free agency or trades. Strategic planning around financials is as important as talent evaluation. A misstep could hinder the ability to make critical moves down the line, while a well-planned approach could allow either team to consistently compete at a high level. Player development is another critical piece. Garland will need time to adjust to his new surroundings, build chemistry with teammates, and learn the nuances of a system designed for a different star. Similarly, young Lakers players can benefit immensely from guidance by seasoned veterans. The balance between giving young talent minutes and relying on proven contributors is delicate but essential. Front offices must evaluate both short-term results and long-term growth, ensuring the roster evolves into a cohesive unit that can sustain success while remaining adaptable to changing circumstances throughout the season. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. Whispers around the league grew louder after reports began circulating that Kevin Durant has accepted a proposal from the Los Angeles Lakers, a move that, if confirmed, could reshape the balance of power in the NBA. While nothing has been officially announced, multiple sources close to the situation suggest that discussions between Durant's camp and the Lakers' front office have advanced well beyond casual interest, entering a phase that insiders describe as mutual commitment. The idea of Durant in purple and gold has long felt like a distant fantasy, the kind of scenario reserved for talk radio and late-night debates. Yet the Lakers' persistent pursuit of another generational star, combined with Durant's well-documented desire to compete for championships deep into his career, has fueled belief that this rumor carries unusual weight. Those familiar with the negotiations claim the appeal lies not only in basketball fit, but in legacy. Playing in Los Angeles offers a stage few franchises can match, and Durant's resume, already among the most impressive of his era, could take on a different narrative arc under the Lakers' spotlight. From a basketball perspective, the speculation makes sense. Durant's scoring versatility, playoff experience, and calm presence in high-pressure moments align with what the Lakers have been seeking. The franchise, eager to maximize its current competitive window, has reportedly positioned itself as a place where Durant could thrive without carrying the entire burden alone. That balance, according to league chatter, may have been decisive. Skeptics remain, warning that until paperwork is signed, rumors remain rumors. Salary mechanics, roster adjustments, and league approval still loom as potential obstacles. Even so, The confidence surrounding this report has sparked intense discussion across the basketball world. Fans imagine the ripple effects, rivals quietly reassess their plans, and executives watch closely. Whether this speculation evolves into reality or fades into off-season lore, one thing is clear. The mere possibility of Kevin Durant accepting a Lakers proposal has already shifted the conversation, reminding everyone how quickly the league's landscape can change when a superstar's name enters the rumor mill. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.